Alrighty, everyone. So today in the Krista Mayshore Coaching CRM, we are going to dive into creating all of these beautiful funnels that can help you win buyer and seller leads on demand. No matter where you're posting these links at, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you name it, social media platform of your choice, once someone drives into this funnel, it's going to help position you as the go-to agent within that marketplace so that you can build instant trust and start gaining new clients. So what we're going to do is on the left bar, go down to funnels, go ahead and click the drop down, and we're going to click on funnels. Once you're in here, you're going to see that you have several templates that you can choose from that are pre-built in the system and ready to rock for you. Let's go ahead and click on the Real Estate Hero funnel though to get started. So we can see that we have several different pages here that are already there for you. We've got a template for each page. You just got to go and customize this and make it your own. Now, in doing so, that customization may include updating color schemes, updating your logos, photos, going ahead and changing the verbiage, the about me sections, giving more details on you, yourself, and your team so that you can really position yourself to those buyers or sellers, whoever you're looking for. So let's go ahead and click on the home page and get started here. We're going to hit edit page, and that's going to go ahead and open up for us. Now, once we're in this screen, every single item that is on the page, as you hover over it, you're going to see a box that goes around that item. And once we click, you're going to see that the box on the left, this scroll bar here, is going to actually change. So you can see now we're in button settings. Now we're in paragraph settings. Now we're in headline settings, image settings, so on and so forth. So everything on this template is going to be super simple for you to go in and go ahead and edit, change, update, make it your own, right? Now, one of the things that I can see right out of the gate is that this is showing as desktop only. So let's show you guys how to make sure that you can have this populate on mobile as well as desktop. Because if you're making a template from scratch and you're going through and making it your own and customizing it, you definitely want to make sure that it's available on mobile, because we know that it's over 95% of our traffic that we see on a regular basis from social media platforms or from anywhere that you're going to be posting these links. Primarily, it's going to be coming from mobile traffic. So we want to make sure it's ready for mobile devices. So in the advanced settings feature, we just click on this little section, go into advanced, and all we have to do is click the phone button. Once we click the phone button, that's now going to be actively available and ready for you there on mobile. So if we unclick it, you'll see everything shows as desktop only. Everything just flipped back over to mobile only. Now, or mobile and desktop, excuse me. Now, all of these sections, you're going to be able to go ahead and make that update. Whether it's just, you can add in, just go in and click that advanced option, click mobile to add that in and put it in place. All right, so the first thing we want to do is go ahead and scroll down the page and make sure that we have everything set to where it's going to be mobile optimized and ready to be utilized on a mobile platform. So what I'm going to do for this box, since we have individual elements, 3 different columns that are in this element, I'm going to click on the main box. Let's go ahead and click advanced. And you can see that the main box shows that it is desktop and mobile. So you're actually going to have to click on each individual element here and click on that mobile icon so it's available on desktop and on mobile. All right, now we can also see that this entire section is desktop only. So let's go ahead and click mobile there. And let's do this one more time down below. Awesome. So now your landing page can be viewed not only on desktop, but also on mobile, which is extremely important. Now, these particular photos, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this photo at the top. It's kind of, looks like it was something that was built into the back end when we switched over to mobile. It threw that image in. We don't want that image there. So we're just going to go ahead and remove that. You can see it's really easy to do. When you're highlighting a box, you can simply just click the delete button or the trash can, and it will go ahead and get rid of whatever element that you're working with, right? Now, let's say you want to change a photo. So right out of the gate, just say the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you update your logo, right? So we're going to go ahead and click on the image, and let's go into general. As you scroll down, you're going to see all of these options for padding. That's going to do is move it in, move it back out, right? So you can see how that padding would actually move that around on your screen. We're going to push that back to 10 because I believe this is great placement already. You can also adjust your alignment, whether you want it to be centered, whether you want it to be aligned to the left, aligned to the right, or just straight up and down, right? So where we're going to change the image is going to be right here. Go ahead and click Pick Image. Now this is going to take you into the default media library, and we're going to have a handful of media that's already preloaded and ready to rock for you. Well, let's just say this particular image right here was your logo and what you wanted to place here. So we go ahead and select that image, and as you can see, it automatically changes over to that image in the top. And let's say that right here we also wanted to add in a particular element so that we can get people interested in rocking and rolling right now. You could essentially go in and plug in a countdown, right? So let's say that you have an offer that only lasts a certain period of time, or you just want something to kind of build that urgency to get them to start going. You could select a counter and plug a counter in here, and then you can go ahead and actually click an end date or select an end date and end time. So if we were to make this timer have an end date of the January 14th, which is tomorrow at 12 a.m., this would go ahead and start that timer at that going off right out of the gate. I'm going to delete this because I do actually want to leave this section blank. I think it's going to look the cleanest. Now let's go ahead and dive into the text. All right, so this is going to be all variable based on how you want to present yourself and your brand. So we don't need to start out with "Who is Homes by Krista," right? You can literally make this whatever you want. So we can say the Beaumont real estate team, and all you have to do is click, delete, start typing, and it's going to automatically just plug everything in there. Now, I do feel that this is a great way to start by just boasting about some of the accomplishments that you've had, and well, not necessarily boasting, but just showcasing what it is that's going to make you stand out from your competitors. So if you look at what Krista is doing here right out of the gate, she's the owner broker, right, that has over 17 years of experience. She has sold over 2,000 homes in the East County area. That's huge. That's going to captivate your audience right out of the gate because she is literally positioning herself as a figure of authority in that local marketplace when it comes to real estate. Right? She's earned herself a spot amongst the top 1% of realtors nationwide and continues to be in the top 0.01% of her county year after year. Right? So not only is Krista phenomenal in the East County area, but she is also performing against agents on a national level and is in the top 1% of those nationwide agents. And in her local marketplace, she is at the very top 0.01% in her county. Her biggest passion is leaving both buyers and sellers at each transaction with a smile on their face. Click below to learn more about how to easily increase the price of your home by 6.7%. Right? So what we've done here is listed that what she's passionate about is helping her clients achieve their goals, right? Putting a smile on their face, and then giving a value proposition at the end of this statement so that we can really write home with it, right? Letting them know, click below to learn more about how to easily increase the value of your home by 6.7%. That just shows right out of the gate that she has some tips and tricks that she has gained from that 200 home sales in that county area. So when you're writing your own description out and your hook and value proposition to get your potential clients to fill out their information, you want to make sure that you're positioning yourself in the right place, showcasing that you are the expert. You also want to make sure that you have a solid value proposition and that you're here to take care of your clients and do the right thing. So go ahead and feel free to customize this, make it your own, and write out a really solid statement here that's really going to make you pop. If you haven't sold 2,000 homes, that's not a big deal. What I would implore you to do, especially if you're a brand new agent, you're just getting started, take a look at your team that's directly around you, right? So you could say something along the lines of, uh, our team, the Beaumont real estate team. I'm just going to go ahead and tab down on this a little bit. So you can go ahead and start this out by saying the Beaumont real estate team has a combined experience of 27 years. And we would get to this combined experience by reaching out to the agents that are directly on your team, finding out how many years of experience each individual team member has, and then you can tally that up. Because as a team together, you would have a combined 27 years of experience if that was the tally of what everyone had. So this way, it's putting yourself in a position to where you look like you really know what the heck you're talking about, even though you're brand new and just entering the game. You've got this phenomenal team that's around you that can really back you and help you along the way to make sure that you're taking care of your clients and keeping them happy. All right, so the Beaumont Real Estate has a combined experience of 27 years. Our team has collectively sold over 500 homes within the past 27 years, or collectively sold over 500 homes in the Beaumont area, in Beaumont and surrounding areas, in Beaumont and surrounding areas. So again, when we talk about our team, collectively combined, I mean, this means that we're taking the entire team's experience and we're lumping it into one package, right? And we're putting that out as kind of a value and a positioning manner so that we can give those clients the feel that they're working with the right individual. When they get there and they can see that we have a combined experience of 27 years, our team has collectively sold over 500 homes right in the area that they're looking to buy, it's going to be extremely powerful right out of the gate, right? So if you don't have these accolades that Krista has, where she's earned herself a spot amongst the top 1% of realtors nationwide, don't worry about it. Lean on your team and put that into consideration when you're writing out these value propositions for your landing pages, and utilize the opportunity of collective and combined, so that way you're not just using your experience being a brand new agent, you can be using the experience of your entire team. Now, of course, if you are a power agent, you've been in the business for a long time, and let's say that you are in similar ranks to Krista, make sure that you are highlighting your accolades and your successes, and do it in a way where you kind of write it in third person so that you're not just bragging or boasting about yourself, but do it in a way that it just seems like it would come across as a position of authority for that local market. So I'm going to go ahead and back out of this and just hit delete a couple of times and bring this back up to where it is. So you can go ahead and edit, change, update this however you would like. But let's say that you also wanted to add a subheadline here. You can always click any of these plus marks at the bottom of any element, right? So we can add an element here. You can click the plus mark at the bottom of this element and we can add certain things. So go ahead and look at the right side of your screen. We're going to be able to see headline, subheadline, paragraph, bullet list, button, form, video, image, custom CSS, or custom JavaScript or HTML, right? So this is if you're embedding custom code, something along those lines, surveys, calendars, maps for locations, right? You can upload individual images. We've got countdowns. All of these different options over here on the right, you can add whatever you want and really make this your own. What I'm going to do is just add in a subheadline so I can show you guys what a small call to action would look like. Now, the first thing I'm going to do when we look into a subheadline is we want to make sure that our fonts are going well together. We don't want this font in the subheadline to be of a different font than the headline that is above it, right? So if we just scroll down and we look right here at the typography type, you can see that we have headline font, right? If we click here, you're going to see that it says custom font and then it's this Ubuntu. So let's go ahead and click on our subheadline and we're going to change this. We're going to go custom font. From default font, we're going to go ahead and move into that. All right. So let's say that you want to add into here a little bit of a unique offer. Learn more about down payment assistance, for example. You can add in your individual subheadline anywhere on this page, wherever you need it to be, but you can essentially add or change any of those elements at will so that you can make this exactly what you want it to be. Now, if we take a look at this, I would center this, or I wouldn't center this, I would move this over to the left so that everything falls into alignment. And of course, you can make those changes right here. If you wanted something to look a little off and maybe pop and be off to the right, you can do that. You can make it to where it's all straight up and down. You can center it or move it over to the left. I'd recommend moving it to the left personally. But I just want to show you guys, you can add those elements in and out and make those changes as needed, right? So once I can get my Grammarly button out of the way, I'll show you guys. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. I'm just going to move this up really fast and then hit delete because for some reason I couldn't get my that little logo out of the way. So if we take a look at this section right here, this is actually going to be a background image. So this image right here can be customizable and you can change this background image to whatever you would like. What we would need to do is click in the square to where you have the green outline that goes all the way around. You can see these are all kind of color coded, right? So texts are going to have orange, right? You're also going to have orange with buttons. And then for the rows and columns, you're going to see that that has a blue. And then your backgrounds are going to have green, right? So backgrounds in every section are going to have green. So if we click here, all you'd have to do is select image. And then you can go ahead and swap that image out for whatever you would like that is within your library. If you don't have the image that you would like to use right here readily available, all you'd have to do is click upload, and then you can select a file directly from your PC or your Mac that you can upload directly in and change those photos in and out. No problem. So we're going to go ahead and click back. Oh, I've accidentally left the editor. So let's click edit page. Awesome. So if you don't hit save in the top right corner, you'll notice that the Beaumont real estate that I had typed in earlier is now gone. You do have to save after each of your edits to make sure that those items save on the platform. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly make this a mobile ready site again, just so I can show you guys how fast we can do this and get this dialed in. So I'm going to go ahead and click here, mobile. I'm going to remove, well, we'll leave that photo. And let's scroll down and find all of the ones that just say desktop only. And we are going to make these desktop and mobile. And as you can see, if you click into the background section, that actually made all of these mobile. So you can quickly change an entire section without having to do each individual element, which is really nice. Makes things super simple. All right. Now let's go ahead and scroll down, for example, and take a look at this particular section here. Let's say that you had a video that went side by side with your seller's guide and you wanted to place that video here versus having an image. Now, what we can do is we can exit and delete this image. We can go ahead and click Add Element. From here, all you have to do on the right side under Media is click Video. Now we have several different options to import that video directly into the platform. Right now, I'm just going to go on YouTube and find a video at random. And you guys won't be able to see my screen while I do it because I'm on a loom. But give me just a moment. I'm going to pop into YouTube and go ahead and pull up Real Estate Seller's Guide. For some reason, YouTube isn't working. Let me open up a different browser. There we go. And when I'm in YouTube, I'm simply going to click share. And I'm going to copy the URL for this. And I'm going to go ahead and paste this on it. So over here, you're going to see video type. So is it a YouTube video, a Vimeo video, Wistia? Are you doing a custom embed? Is this going to be HTML5? So I'm just going to click on YouTube. You can see in order to upload a YouTube video into this system, all you have to do is plug in the URL. So we'll go ahead and paste that in, and you'll see we've got the buyers and sellers seminar video from Krista that automatically populates here. So you can very easily change out images for videos and make sure that you're providing the right content for those individuals that you're working with. Now, let's say that you really like the way that this looks, and you wanted to use this in a different template where you've got the white background, you've got the video, you've got the text on the right side. How do you create this, right? So what we're going to do at the bottom here, again, to add any row, section, anything like that, we're going to go ahead and click the plus on the blue outline. And we're going to see that we have a couple of different options. One column to 6 column, right? So one column means that it's going to just be wide all the way across. It's just going to be one thing. If we enter text, it's going to be square in the middle, or we can move to the left or the right, right? But we aren't going to be able to add an additional element on either side if it's one column. So let me give you an example. Let's move into 2 column. So you can see we have a column here with an element and a column here with an element. If we just did a single column, we would only have one element in the center. Now we can adjust this and make it almost exactly identical to what we have above. Now, if we click on this background and go to background color over here, we can go ahead and make that background color white. And let's say we want this margin. We don't want this to be hugged up right against the offering that we have directly above it. We can go ahead and change that top, we can go ahead and change that top margin, and we can bring this down. All right, so let's just go ahead and find a happy median. I'm going to do 50. All right, so we bring that margin down 50. Now let's just recreate exactly what we have above. So let's go ahead and click on element, and we're going to add a video onto the left side. On the right side, I'm going to add a headline at the top. We're going to then go ahead and add a subheadline below that. And then we will add a paragraph directly below there. And then lastly, we're going to add a button. All right, so we'll scroll down. Let's find the button. Here it is. So we have a button. Now you're going to see when you first load that button up, it's going to be a green color. But we can just go ahead and click and change that color to blue. We can see it's not the exact blue that we have on the above button. So we can actually go to this button here and see, oh, okay, so it's this blue down here, color number 21. So then we can go ahead and select that and mimic exactly what we're looking at above. Now let's just say we want to make an exact duplicate, download, and we want to actually, so out of the gate, we need to make sure that we're utilizing that same font. And so again, we're going to go to custom font here. And let's go ahead and plug this in. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and type in download free seller guide. Let's also make this bold. That way it matches what we have at the top. I simply did Control B, but you can highlight the whole text and you can hit the bold, which will make it bold right there. All right, now here we can go ahead and add in another sub headline, but let's first make sure that we have the font right. So we're going to go to custom font, and then we're going to go and select our font that we are using. So I'm just going to show you guys how to quickly duplicate exactly what we had above. Increase your increase your price by 6.7% with us. All right. Now, if we look at this, it does look a little bit different. So I believe this is bold as well. And it may be a different font size. Let's go ahead and take a look. So this font is 20. This font is 23. So this actually isn't going to be bold, but we need to increase the font to 23 so that it matches. So once we increase that font, and it looks like it is actually bold. Control B. All right, and let's go ahead and make sure that our desktop and mobile are at that 23. Oh, it's not bold. There we go. That looks right. And it looks like we actually have two different text boxes here. So let's go ahead and add a text box in right here. So a paragraph. So paragraph, paragraph. Now it looks like our spacing isn't right just yet. So we need to make sure that when we click on this particular subheadline, we're going to add some spacing in for the top margin, right? So you can the bottom margin. So we'll go ahead and space this out down here. And let's see what we have for the bottom margin on this particular one. So it looks like the margin was actually done on the second. So instead of here, let's go ahead and move this back to 0. Let's click on this one. And let's go ahead and move that top margin out, which it was 20. So let's go ahead and make this 20. All right, and then let's take a look at the next margin. This one is 15. So let's go ahead and make this 15. And it looks like our text size on here is 16 on desktop and on mobile. So let's go ahead and bump that up so that it matches 16. And we'll do the same here. Not 91. 16 and 16. There we go. Now, let's just say we want to go ahead and add in this really cool download icon into our button. How are we going to do that? Well, we go ahead and we click on our button and we look directly at the icon pickers here. So click icon picker and let's search download. And you can see that we have that download element right here that populates. As you can see, it's almost exactly identical to what we're looking at above. But there is something that I'm noticing. We do have a little bit more of a buffer on the top than we do on the bottom because this is crammed right up on that text. So I feel that we should definitely expand this out. Top margin is 20, right? And we also have these different paddings. So we've got 13 top padding, 13 bottom padding, left and right's 35. So let's go ahead and let's do 13, 13, 35, 35, and this was 10, I believe. Let's double check. excuse me, that was 20. So let's go ahead and make this 20. So now we're going to make this box look identical to the box above. Now, let's go ahead and take a look and see. We've got download free guide. And we've also got text to choose from in our buttons. So let's first make sure that we go into the text and we customize the font and select the font that makes it uniform with our entire page. Let's go ahead and scroll down and let's add in our text, download free guide. But it looks like our sizing is a little bit off. So I'm seeing here that our mobile font size is 22, desktop font size is 22 as well. So let's go ahead and make that 22 on this. All right, and what are we missing here? So mobile font size 22, then we've got subtext 14, subtext 14. So let's just go ahead and make these identical all the way down to the letter. 13. Awesome. So now we have this stuff pre-built in, and we're getting really close to looking almost exactly the same as what we have above. Let's go ahead and click on the top download free sellers guide and just see if we have any padding that's built into this. Looks like there's 0. We've got 0. It looks like we are really close. We're getting there. Now you're going to see that these corners are not rounded, right? So this is a square, or this is a rectangle all the way around. We've got sharp edges. Now let's go ahead and show you guys how to round those corners so that you can just make it look a little bit more clean. Right, so if we go ahead and go into general, and let's go ahead and scroll down. Oh, I believe I lost my spot here. So we're going to click here into these boxes, and let's go into advanced. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add this full border all the way around, and I'm going to do a solid border that is dash. All right, so you can see that this is getting really close to the border that we have above. So let's go ahead and take a look at this border. It looks like it's 3 pixels, and our border radius is 10 pixels. So let's go ahead and move back into this one. So let's go 10 pixels on our border radius. Let's go 3 pixels here, and let's take a look at the color on that. So it looks like they chose this one. Am I right? Yeah, that looks like the correct color. So in doing this, and adding in that border all the way around, and then adding border radius and border width, that's going to make it look identical to what we have just above us. So we can see that we have the rounded corners, we have the dash all the way around, and it really pops and just catches the attention. Now, if we want to add that video in here as well, we would simply just go ahead and plug in a YouTube video right there. Okay, so now I've shown you guys how to go ahead and create or duplicate a section or build something directly from scratch. I'm going to go ahead and delete this section because we don't need 2 of them. So go ahead and delete that. And let's show you guys what we can do with these different buttons. So in the button itself, download free guide, we can either have this go to a pop-up, we can send somebody to another website. These are all the different actions. So open the pop-up, go to website URL, you can hide elements, you can scroll to elements. So what this means is, let's just say we have download free guide. If you had the actual guide or something down below, you can have it when they click this button, instantly scroll to the next series in the page, right? So if you had a form at the bottom of your page for them to fill out instead of a pop-up, depending on whatever your preference is, if you were to click this button and have it go to that particular, scroll to that particular element, it's going to drive you to the bottom of the page to fill that form right out of the gate. You can also have this go to the next step, which would move us to the next page in the funnel. We can also go, or you can go select to go to a specific step within the funnel. So if we click that, we're going to get an additional drop down. So you can have buttons that would send people to your about page, your contact page, privacy, all of that good stuff, right? You can do a one-click up, down, sell a product, right? We don't really need to worry about this. We're not selling an individual product. We're selling ourselves and our services. You can have it set to click to call, so it can call you directly. You go ahead and plug in your phone number, and just have everything ready to rock and roll there, right? You can click to send a text message or go to a membership setting. So, membership isn't something that you guys are really going to need to worry about. But let's go ahead and leave this as open pop-up, right? So once we click this, we're going to go ahead and move into the pop-up at the top of the screen, and we're going to click on it. So as you can see, it's blank. We don't have anything set for a pop-up here. I did that for a reason. I wanted to show you guys how to build a pop-up and plug a form in. So what we're going to do is click Add Row, and I'm going to make this one column, right? We don't need to do multiple columns in this. It's a very small space. It's going to pop up essentially as one column on their phone anyways. And we'll go ahead and we'll add an element in here. And so let's say that we want to add a form, right? So we'll go ahead and click form. And let's just say we want to go with home buyer info form. Now, let's say I want my marketing, custom marketing, because this is on a seller's guide. So let's go instant access to free seller seminar, East County. So you can see we have this form where we've got address, full name, email, phone number. And let's say that you're looking at it and you go, hey, I actually don't like that style. I want to change this out and do a different form. So all we have to do is click on the form itself. And on the left side, we can click form. And you can go ahead and choose the different forms that you may want to use right here. So let's go ahead and do buyer info form, right? Let's just click through these, see if we can find one that we like. I will also show you how to build one for yourself in another video. So let's go ahead and move down to, let's just try that. I want my free custom, yes, I want my free custom market proposal. So we'll select this form, right? And let's say we want to add an image at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and click the plus, and we're going to search for image. And I'm going to move this up. We'll click this, these little arrows here, move that on up, and we're going to go ahead and select an image. Let's say we want to go with the kind of logo idea that we went with in the beginning. And now you've got a form that someone can fill out. They can enter their address, their full name, their email, and their phone number. Click the button, and it goes ahead and submits that info to you. Now, I'm going to go ahead and exit out of that pop-up because I just wanted to show you guys how to add that form into the section and get everything ready to rock and roll. So with that being said, that should give you a pretty good idea of every one of these sections, elements, things that you can change, things that you can do. Of course, there's a whole lot more in this platform than just what I've covered, but I wanted to give you a basic idea of how to utilize this tool so that you can make an eye-popping landing page and get it rocking and rolling. The last thing I'm going to show you guys today on this particular video is going to be under settings, right? So very similar to ClickFunnels. And here you're going to see that we have SEO metadata. So you want to make sure that you give your page a title. You want to make sure that you're adding a description that really meets what this page is for. So this is a real estate hero funnel. And what we mean by that is make yourself the local celebrity, the local hero in your market so that you can position yourself as the go-to agent. We want to make sure that we write a description that has a good number of keywords in it and really just pushes you over the top in your local marketplace. I'd recommend using locations that you like to work in and that you do the majority of your business in. Use those locations inside of that description, and also utilize a little bit about yourself that's really going to make you stand out, but add in keywords that people are actually going to be searching for. So, what's my home worth in East Bay, right? Home values East Bay, buying in East Bay, purchasing a home in East Bay, first time home buyer East Bay, right? Make sure that you're adding in those keywords. You're going to do those just by putting a comma, hitting space, and continue on with your keywords. But make sure that you have all of this information filled out. Make sure that you have uploaded a photo so that when you send this link, if it's in Messenger or if it's in a text message, you're going to have that photo populate, and you're going to have that search engine optimization just there, and it's going to make it pop right out of the gate. Right. Also in settings, you're going to be able to find your tracking codes. Right. So this is where you're going to want to enter your Facebook pixel. So you would go ahead and find that Facebook pixel in your business manager and go ahead and copy that and paste it directly into this section. Always hit save. That way you can track everybody that is on your site. Now, as you can see, we have a header and a footer. So for those that aren't privy to it, header section would be where you would put your Facebook pixel. And then LinkedIn's tracking, if you're running ads on LinkedIn, they always ask you to place it in the footer. So that's why we have two different sections for that tracking code. So that way we can encompass all different fields of social, not just Facebook and Instagram. Right. Under that, you're going to see some custom CSS, backgrounds, typography. We really don't need to get into the custom CSS. We don't need to get into the background. We don't need to get into the typography. Right? You guys don't have to worry about those individual things. But that should just about cover it for today and give you enough information to get up and running, be able to build out a fantastic funnel that's going to be eye-popping and catch yourself some new buyers or sellers. I appreciate you guys tuning in.